cheap full body tracking in VR. If you've been following this channel for a while now, you know we've been trying to perfect that for a while. And we've been working with a ton of DIY projects, but we haven't found a product that would allow us to do that just yet. Full body tracking for the masses. Well, that changes today. SlimeVR, this little device that I'm holding in my hand right now, is one of 5 that you receive in the package. $150 is how much the entire thing will cost you. They are completely wireless, require no base stations, and give you 5 points of full body tracking in your virtual world. How well they perform? Well, that's exactly what we are going to find out today. But first of all, we're actually going to take a look at the pucks in detail. You guys have chapters in case you want to skip to any specific part of this video, but because these things are open source, we are actually fully able to take a look at them and not have to worry about any repercussions. So the way these things work is they have an IMU inside, and they're basically all working inside the puck itself. They've got little batteries, and everything is done algorithmically. So it remains to be seen how well they do with drift, etc. But they are still a marvel of work, because for some reason, nobody had done this before, so clearly it must have not been simple. Taking a look at the pucks themselves, they weigh about 49 grams, so are pretty light. They've got a little switch on the side and a micro USB power connector, because yes, these things do have batteries, and yes, they are fully wireless, as I said earlier. So unfortunately, no Type-C port there. I would have loved to see a Type-C port, but I believe that's a limitation of the hardware that's actually inside of these. Maybe we'll see an updated version in the future. Now, it is very important for me to tell you before we begin anything with these, is that these are review units. They are not the final product, and the final product will not only look better, but also the install procedure and the whole getting it working is going to be so much easier, because currently I've been told it's a little bit jank and a little bit confusing, but that is going to be all so much easier once these hit production. So this is a review unit, and just kind of stay on the line of caution when I talk about these and bugs and things that might appear. This is not the final product, but either way, let's jump straight into it. Now, of course, because this is a review device and it's not the official final product, things weren't going to be as simple as we originally thought they were. So it's time to break out the iFixit kit and flash the newest firmware onto these things. And once again, because they are fully open source, I was allowed to open them up and show you guys the insides, because these things actually look so damn nice on the inside. And I'm a nerd, so I'm into these kinds of things, but I liked it so much that I actually ended up making a few of these transparent with my own 3D printer. You can even see that the board has a little engraving on it that says SlimeVR. Really cool. Anyway, to flash the firmware, in case you guys ever need to do this, you just hold down the flash button while turning the SlimeVR device on, and then you plug it into your computer. Then you need to download the Visual Studio package, and there's an instruction on how to do this on the internet, because if I were to go through this, I would definitely mess something up. So SlimeVR does have an official website for you guys to check out in case you need to do a firmware update. Also, it is important to note that once again, this is a review unit, this is not what you're getting. You're probably going to have over-the-air updates, meaning everything will be automatic, but this is the way I had to do it, so I might as well show it. But yeah, I ran the firmware update, and after that, the Wi-Fi connected just fine. Talking about the Wi-Fi, here's how you do it now. You download the SlimeVR server, then click the run file inside the SlimeVR server, turn on one of your slimes, connect it to your computer, then click Wi-Fi in the top right of the window that fires up, then put in your Wi-Fi credentials, and click the send button. You're done. The device is connected. Now the slime should reboot, and you should see it show up in the main SlimeVR window on the list with all your devices. Now, before you put your slimes on, it's a good idea to put them all on the ground, turn them on there, and this should minimize drift, kind of calibrating the IMUs, I would presume. Now that we're done with the setup, how do you actually put these on? Well, one IMU on each body part, or each joint, whatever you want to call it. So you want to put the slime with the longest extension up on your chest, then run the extension down and kind of tie it around your waist using one of the straps. Next to 2 slimes that don't actually have any extensions, you want to put those on each of your legs, and those will be assigned as legs. After that, take the final slimes, the 2 with the shorter extensions, and tie them around your ankles, then take the extensions and put them around your feet. There you go, you're all set. So now that you have them all on your body, fire up the SlimeVR server and start assigning them, because yes, you need to assign each and every one of these to your body. Now, thankfully, the settings do actually get saved. after you restart the software. However, you might mismatch the left and right side, so I'd mark them in some sort of way. Or if you're like me, print 3D printed cases for one half of your body. Whatever works for you. Anyway, once you have them assigned, it's time to have some fun. So, all in all, the setup was actually quite simple, especially if you take out the firmware update part, which you guys definitely won't have to do. All I had to do was connect them to the PC, select the Wi-Fi network, and boom, done. I mean, that's a lot easier than it used to be. That really shows you the dedication towards this project and how much better the setup has already gotten and how much more user-friendly it has gotten. But that's all good. You have it connected. How well do they actually work? Well, you've got a few options within the software. You can either choose only feet and waist, or you can choose your entire body in case you're playing something like Neos VR that genuinely supports that. But since we are going to be testing this out in VR chat, because I think that's what most people are going to be interested in, we only select feet and waist. So how well does it work? Well, it is absolutely amazing. There's no doubt in my mind that from now on, this is going to be my main full body tracking setup. It's miles better than the Xbox Kinect, like miles, and better than any other camera-based setup we have tried. I'm unable to tell you how they compare to Vive trackers because I never bought any to keep in line with the channel's cheap full body tracking theme, but I must say, this is very impressive and very accurate. I'm sure it's not going to be one-to-one as accurate as the Vive trackers. Of course not. Those things use external tracking. You're going to have pretty much very precise movements on that. But this thing does very well. Now, I'm no dancer. I'm really not. But that's one thing I know people love to do in VR chat, especially with full body tracking. So here we are. Here's me dancing like an absolute idiot. People probably looking at me through the window in my tiny play space, trying not to hit anything. But look at this. Look how well it tracks my body. I can do little spinnies, I can do like jumping up and down, and it still continues tracking. A big thing people were worried about with this full body tracking solution was drift. And during my play session, which lasted about 4 hours, I actually experienced little to no drift. And by little, I mean I didn't notice it. And I did some pretty crazy things. Like I was jumping up and down, I was going up on top of my bed, I was doing some weird thing. Let's not talk about that. I experienced little to no drift. And even if you do experience drift, all you do is you launch the SteamVR dashboard, select your desktop, open up the SlimeVR server, and click reset. Oh, and just make sure to have your trackers facing forward, or whichever setting you selected in the SlimeVR server, because you do actually have to select which way the trackers are facing, or else when you move your body, it won't move in the correct direction. That's actually something that took me way too long to figure out when it was actually pretty obvious. But this is me we're talking about, so let's not be too surprised. Either way, of course, I tried some of our favorite poses. When you're in VR chat, you see a lot of people laying in front of the mirror, so of course, we had to try out laying on the ground. And I know from Thrill Seeker's video that actually used to be a problem in the past, but was fixed. And I'm happy to say that yes, it is actually still fully working, and it is amazing. Being able to lay down in VR is something I have never actually been able to do with our full body tracking cheap solutions. That made no sense. But because the Kinect, well, no, just no. And the others don't even try. And of course, I tried sitting down as well, because that's something a lot of people like doing in VR, being able to sit down on the virtual chairs, but look like they're actually sitting. And that worked no problem whatsoever as well. So I can say I'm a huge fan. These slimes work incredibly well. And if you guys were incredibly excited and waiting for these things to come out, well, I'm happy to say it's not in vain. These are just as amazing as we expected them to be, and they will be my #1 full body tracking solution. I mean, just the fact that they don't require base stations, meaning I can bring them with me with the Oculus Quest on holidays, is amazing. It's actually fantastic. The trackers are actually unbelievably comfortable and pretty damn light, so you kind of forget that they're on there after a while. You could almost sleep in them. And talking about sleeping, just like the other reviewers have said, because these things have no external tracking, you can totally cover them up in a blanket and not have to worry about tracking loss. The predicted battery life on these things is absolutely amazing, and the best part is, it's actually accurate. These things can last you up to 15 hours, or maybe even more depending on how you use them, and I can confirm that is true. The battery life on these is amazing, and while I did test them here only in VR chat, that was mostly to show you guys the accuracy and how well they work. These can totally be used with any other Steam VR game that supports full body tracking. So in case you want to kick someone in Blade and Sorcery, go ahead and do that. Just don't kick your wall. Now, one thing to note is they do require a 2.4 gigahertz network, which means that if you guys have a 5 gigahertz network and 5 gigahertz network only, you will need to create a separate access point in order for that to work. Some newer routers will give you a meshed network, for example. I have a meshed network, and this has no issues with connecting to the mesh network at all. A meshed network is essentially one SSID for both 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. But yeah, I'm super happy with it. I hope you guys are as happy with it as I am, just judging from the video there. And next time I see you guys in VR chat, it will be with full body tracking. And it makes me smile. The goal has been succeeded. Now on to the deets. Cringe. Details. Now let's move on to the details, because I have asked the creator of SlimeVR for some details on, for example, when you guys will be able to pre-order and for updates that will be happening very, very soon. So here we are. First thing, hardware is effectively final. So what you guys saw there inside the SlimeVR trackers is actually final. And I'm cool with that. I mean, this thing works really, really well. Those were some high quality IMUs, and I am super, super happy with the way this works. So you don't need to worry about hardware not being powerful enough or anything like that. It's really good. Only minor things will change before production starts, and people that pre-order will get all those changes too, including a USB Type-C port. That is something I actually didn't expect. I thought that was a limitation of the board inside, but apparently not. People that pre-order will actually get a USB Type-C port, meaning I'm probably going to have to reorder because I want that Type-C port. Software and firmware, especially software, is very much not final, but everyone will be able to update for free with all the new features that will be released and all fixes before and after pre-orders and shipment. It's all entirely open source, as I've mentioned before, so in case the community wants to join in on this, they absolutely can, and they're already making fixes and updates. Oh, apparently, currently, right now, another person is making a system that automatically configures body measurements just by moving around for a few seconds. Wow, that's actually quite impressive. That is hype. That is actually hype. It says hype here. But no promises that it'll actually work. It'll actually work. Now, I can't promise that, but it will actually work. If there are any changes to the firmware, they'll be able to update it from the server over Wi-Fi or USB without actually needing to open up the trackers. Just like I said, over-the-air updates, you will have that right there. Okay, so now we move on to the price. I've been sent an attachment here that is going to show us the price of different tracker sets, excluding shipment and taxes and import fees, of course. Shipment in the US is free. Planned worldwide shipment is $15 since it's without taxes. People will need to pay VAT or other sales tax in their country and state, but also for US customers, they will most likely pay a 25% tax on import from China. There will be a set of 7+3 trackers sold without cases, straps, and other accessories for people that want to DIY everything else and save a buck. Projected price is about $185. So now looking at the attachment here, we've got the lower body set, the 5 primary trackers for all full body tracking games, waist position and rotation and foot position. So you actually need all 5 trackers in order for full body tracking to work. I've actually noticed that even if you're using just feet and waist, you actually still need all 5 trackers. And that will be about $155. So that's, I believe, what most people are going to be interested in. The core set with 5 primary trackers and 1 extension, which is waist position and rotation with increased precision and foot position. And the projected price for that is $175. The enhanced core set with 5 primary trackers and 3 extensions will be $210. That's the one that I have on me right now. The full body tracking set, which is going to be 7 primary trackers and 3 extensions, will be $260. The deluxe tracker set, which is 10 primary trackers and 6 extensions, will be $390. That's all great and all, but when can you pre-order them? Aaron, the creator of SlimeVR, plans to open pre-orders this month. However, it might be closer to the end of this month. And the shipment, basically when you guys can plan to receive your slimes, is going to basically depend on chip shortages. Because as some of you may know, currently there's a big shortage on basically everything around the world. Currently, they hope they could deliver in February or March of 2022, if a miracle happens, even earlier. if an unmiracle happens later. Unfortunately, now with the chip shortages around the world, you can never fully know. All I can say is, I hope you guys think the wait was worth it, because I certainly do. I will be pre-ordering more, because I've got a few headsets, and I want everyone that comes over to be able to witness the glory of full body tracking. So this is a lot more affordable than Vive trackers, like a lot, because not only do you have to buy the Vive trackers, you also have to buy the base stations, and that's a lot of money. And this does essentially the exactly same thing at a slightly lower precision rate, and it will constantly get updates and constantly be getting better. The hardware is there, just the software that needs the updates. So I'm super excited to see what happens here in the future, and I also have some fantastic news for you guys. I was told this just there right now. This actually works with AwoTrack. So essentially, you download the AwoTrack app on your phone, and you can use that to connect to the SlimeVR server. So your phone becomes the SlimeVR tracker. So in case you guys have 5 phones, well, you're going to have slime trackers already. It's actually incredible what they've done here. They have actually done what I was unable to do. They have brought full body tracking to the masses. So guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. We got to try out some absolutely amazing technology that I was wishing for quite some time now. And that's it. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day or night. And if you guys liked the video, please leave a like. If you guys disliked it, I guess this button works too, but please tell me why down in the comment section below. If you guys are not yet part of our community, make sure to join our Discord down below. Make sure to join our Reddit. Want to see you posting your spice memes. If you guys would like to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, we've got sick merch down below, including mugs just like this to boost your FPS by 300%. And if you guys want to new future content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with the forwarding my bell, and see you in the next video. Peace.